Hi Kirti, welcome to Film Companion. So you started off first as a dancer, a ballet dancer and a salsa dancer.
Yeah.
Then you've done distribution, which very few people do,
Yeah.
especially people our age.
Okay.
And then now you've gone into theatre.
Yeah.
And then also now you're also doing a movie.
Yeah.
So can you just take us through this journey a little?
Like you said, I started off, learning the form of salsa and ballet. I'm certified in both of it. I learned it from Kokila, from Academy of Modern Dance. And then theatre happened. Like I started, doing performing on stage as an actor, and I didn't have the time to, go back to dancing. So that kind of abruptly stopped there. So yeah, theatre was happening, and simultaneously during dance and theatre, and even before that, in my final years of college, I started taking care of my dad's business. He started teaching me what it is and how it is, and we opened this company which distributes films overseas. So predominantly, overseas business, and this is based in Singapore. So yeah, that was what was happening, and during all of this, I was also listening to scripts and attending auditions and sending out my profiles, because what I'm doing today is something that I've always wanted to do from since I was a child. So yeah, it was kind of all happening simultaneously, but like you framed it, that pattern.
Does a bit of your theatre training really help you in your acting?
Of course it does. Like I've been doing for the last three and a half years, and most definitely, to begin with, theatre really breaks that wall for you. The inhibitions you have to even speak or say anything. Generally, a lot of us, like I had a lot of inhibitions before theatre happened to me. As a person, I changed, and there was more discipline in what I did, and a lot of things like that. It changed how I looked at life, and a lot of things like that. Theatre really helped. Yes.
Okay. And for instance, if I ask you something like, if you're choosing a script for a theatre play, and if you're choosing a script for a movie,
Okay.
are the ideas the same? Will you choose the same for both?
Theatre works very differently from films. So in films, you have the story, they have a script written, and you normally go exactly by the script until and unless your director is okay. So in theatre, there is a story and there is a skeleton to the script. And as actors, we have to devise the whole thing. And we have the director. That's the whole point of having a director. Like he'll direct us to what to have and how to have it, and how the whole scene should be set out and things like that. So that's how theatre works. So I'm not sure how I can weigh the same story for two different
You cannot.
mediums.
But then, when you choose a script, does it come from the same place? Is it instinct that drives you to choosing?
So in theatre, as for me, it's not been like, okay, I'm choosing this script, let me do this, let me not do this. I've dived into everything. Like, I don't know much Hindi, but yes, I've done plays in Hindi. And yeah, I've really pushed myself, because that is the challenging part. That's what theatre did to me. It broke a lot of inhibitions. It broke the wall for me, and it let me tell myself that it's okay even if you make a fool out of yourself, because otherwise you're not going to learn what you've come here for. So yeah, that's what, in theatre, I've dived into everything. Everything that came my way, I took it up, and I was going crazy the last 3 years performing.
But why didn't you approach cinema like that?
Cinema is, I don't know, it's very tricky actually. I took my time because I've not come in any sort of role, be it any role at all, in any feature film. I've done short films, I've done music videos and all, but my feature film was something that was a long dream that I've always had. Since I was a child, seeing my dad, growing up, watching what he was doing and everything. So I really wanted to take my time to, step in at the right time with the right thing, which I felt would be, correct for me. So very instinctively, actually, Tumba happened. And I've listened to scripts before that, and it didn't coordinate with the kind of things I wanted to do. There are not set things that I want to do, but I didn't feel the satisfaction or the urge to do it. I thought, okay, let me wait and see. Let me wait and see, because I was really happy in the place I was. I was performing on stage, and that is a lot of satisfaction. End of the day, I can sleep peacefully, after a show day. So I was happy. I was in a happy place doing that. And that's when Tumba came by, and very instinctively I said, yeah, I think I'll
This
I'll
is
do
the
this.
script.
Yeah, this is my first.
So there would have been an instance if an interesting script hadn't come towards you, you would have just continued doing theatre for a few more years?
I'm still doing theatre.
No, I'm saying
And yes,
without thinking about cinema.
Yes, I would have. I would
Okay.
have. Cinema was something that kept coming to me. There were a lot of people coming and approaching me, and in that course of 3 years, it was not just people approaching me and telling me, oh, there's a script and all. I've gone for auditions. I've attended auditions. I've sent my profiles to name the language in India. I've sent it to those directors and all of that, and I've not got responses. I've been rejected. I've gone to auditions, and a lot of painful rejections have happened in that due course. I also kept trying, and I was also taking my time. When people wanted me in certain things, I was like, okay, not this one. So that whole journey took some time up until, Tumba happened.
So at least in the audition process, did you use a lot of your theatre background to ace those auditions, so to say?
Ace those auditions would be a big word,
Yeah.
but like I said, theatre really helps you. So in theatre, if I'm doing a show, me and the other actors part of the play will have to clean the floor. We have to clean the floor. We have to get our props. We have to do everything from scratch. In cinema, you have the light people doing that. You have the production doing this. You have the direction. No, in theatre, we do our own things, and that's how it is. So that really disciplines you and gives you a very hard-hitting, reality kind. This is how it is, and you need to do your own things kind. So, yeah.
At least in the acting process stage, is it very different in your head?
Yeah, so the acting is definitely very different for stage and camera, because for stage, like on stage, when I perform, the last person sitting, in the last row should be able to see my expression and hear me.
Of course. Yeah.
And most of the shows that I've done, I've not been mic'd. Okay. So I'll have to really throw my voice, even if it's going to be a whisper. So it's called stage whisper. I still have to shout and whisper, but it still has to be conveyed that I'm whispering with my body language and my expressions. But for camera, it's completely different. I cannot do that exaggeration, because then you'll just go like, okay, what is she trying to do?
You're on close up and
they have like your zoom lens on you, and you can't be that exaggerated. So it depends on what shot they're keeping for you, if it's a close up or if it's a long shot. Or depending on that, you should know how much you should, give your expression or your body language or your movement and all of that. So very different.
But speaking technically, can you tell me a couple of techniques that you use from theatre that helped you in cinema? For instance, if you're a character building or something like that, can you use the tools that you got from theatre?
Yeah. So say I've got a story, and then this is so and so is my character. So there are things that I ask the person. Okay, so give me the backstory of this. This is the basics. I'm sure a lot of people do this. Yeah. So what is the backstory of this character? So this whole backstory is not going to come on screen for you, but this character, while I'm playing that character, I need to have in my mind that all of this baggage is something this character has been carrying. So this is how this character will respond to something because of, this past and this whole world that she is in. Sure. So it's a whole different world. It's not going to be Kirti over there. It's going to be that character and her world and what she's been through. Yeah. So that is a homework that I do both, for theatre and for cinema. And also there are detailings that you can bring, like a habit that your character has, like a quirk, like probably cracking, just like breaking your knuckles is something that a character can have. So these are details that can be there in both. It doesn't have to be, it's not gonna, stage, or it's not gonna be exaggerated or anything like that. So there are things that you can have in both, and especially like you said, building this whole character, it really helps for me from whatever I've learned from theatre. It really helps me in how I look at the character when I have to play it on screen.
Apart from the whole voice thing, do you have to unlearn a couple of things that you picked up from theatre?
Unlearn?
Yeah.
No? Not unlearn.
Yeah.
So there is
because you can't rehearse, right? You can't rehearse as many times, at least in cinema.
Yes,
so do you have to learn to work much faster?
Yeah, so but again, in cinema, we have the whole.
Cut.
Yeah, exactly. We can cut and just be like, okay, cut, sorry, I'm sorry, get me the lines again. But on stage, if I forget a line, I forget the damn line.
Will you miss the cut? Like when you go back to theatre, will you miss the...
No, I really missed performing at one go.
Fantastic.
I really miss that. Like, you know, when they keep a close-up shot and they'll say, no, just this dialogue to this dialogue you tell. And then I'll be like, no, I want to tell the whole thing because, you know, it's something, and I'm so used to learning pages of dialogues. So that's something that, and on stage, like I said, if you forget a line, you forget the line. You need to know how to improvise over there, and you have your co-artists to realize, so they also should know your lines. You should also know their lines. So all of this comes in theatre.
You're coming from a film family, if I can say that.
Yeah.
You might have had access to a certain roles and certain films easier than other people. Let's say you had the access, but why did you still choose to make sure that it has to happen a certain way? You will go through the grind and you will struggle or whatever to make sure you get into your first film.
Okay.
Was it a decision or did it just happen that way?
Okay. Firstly, I did not have easy access to any roles or anything at all because what I wanted to do as an artist, be it, you know, a dancer or an actor or whatever it is, my dad had no involvement in it. He did not say do this or go here and see, nothing. And I did not ask him. He did his work, I did my work. So that's what it was. And secondly, I do not see you know, the path that I chose, the journey that happened up until now as a struggle at all. It was the most fruitful process and journey ever. And I'm really thankful to the time that actually happened. There are days where I've cried because of rejections, because of the reason why I was rejected. There have been.
Can you tell me one reason?
Today I'm able to speak about it, but that day I was like, you know, why me kind. So it's mostly because I'm, you know, on the thinner side.
Okay.
And they tell me, I've had directors, big directors come, you know, tell me that they won't see you in South India. In South India, they want people who is plumpy, who is curvaceous. And I was just like, I was just sitting there in front of the director and I didn't know what to say. And he was just watching my music video and saying, you're too thin. No one will see you. And I really teared up. That really broke me. Okay. So that and also color has been something that...
that as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
So there are places where they said, yeah, I'm not fair and all. Then suddenly there were places, no, you're on the fairer side. I'm like, listen, decide one. Yeah. Some auditions I get rejected because I'm not fair. Some auditions say, no, you're not too, you know, you need to be more dark. And I'm like, listen, just make up your damn mind. So yeah, there have been days where I've cried.
Has any of that helped you in acting?
Yeah.
It has?
Yeah.
You draw from that?
A lot. I draw a lot from my life experiences and observing people. These are the two factors that I personally, you know, do. From whoever I meet, whatever I do, I kind of very creepily observe, but I try not to be creepy. And yes, I take from, you know, whatever has happened to me. Like one of the monologues that I did as part of this a play called Dolls by Kriya Shakti. So there are a set of monologues that different women do, and mine is one of the monologues. So this is something that I co-wrote with my director Dushyant, and so it is my own life story, and it's about body shaming. So yeah, I most definitely draw from my
real life experience.
Yeah, and it's great. That's what today I'm able to tell. It's not like I've crossed a lot of difficulties and paths. I'm sure there's a lot more to see, but to the little what I've seen, you know, time will, you know, make you understand that it's okay, that really taught you, that really got you to where you are, and it's not a struggle. It's not a struggle for me. I'm really happy.
And acting is not even your first profession in cinema. You've also like distributed films for many years, I'm hearing. And a lot of films as well.
Yeah, so since 2013, actually 12, since college days I've been involved because my dad's business is distribution, production and distribution. Right after I stepped out of college, I've been taking care of the business.
Which is the first big film that you started off with?
So the first 3 films, I still remember, May 2013, the first 3 films that was distributed by the company that, you know, I opened in Singapore was Soodhu Kavum, Nagaraja Cholan and Gauravam. These 3 films were the first 3 that was bought by that company, and Soodhu Kavum was turned out to be amazing for us overseas. So that's a very close film, like, it's a very, personally, I really like that film, and also, yeah, emotionally, I'm connected to it. And then, right after this, Singham happened. And after that, it's been like a huge thing. And of course, it's with dads, monitoring the whole thing and funding the whole thing and all of that. But yeah, so since then, I have the knowledge of what goes into releasing a film, especially overseas, and mainly in Singapore. Like, I understand the Singapore market because of, the
What kind of market is it? Can we call Singapore a market like Chennai, or is Singapore a market like Madurai?
In Singapore, there's about 7 to 9% of Tamils living there, and majority is the working labor class over there. So we'll know what we should cater to that audience. We'll know what will work out for them and the kind of centers they will go to.
Soodhukkavum is not a natural choice for that market.
Soodhukkavum was a very instinctive choice for my dad. He really believed in that film, and he said this film is going to be amazing. He was the one who bought it outright, like before it released. He bought it and he said this film is going to like really reach places, and it did. He did buy the Hindi rights later and sold it off and all of that. So yeah, but those choices were made by dad. But yeah, like I said, Singapore is so this is the percentage of people that you're going to cater to, and there's a lot of technicalities to it, like if we'll have repetitive audience for this film, or will they just come once, depends on your ticket price. Can we price it this much on the weekends, how much?
Can you change the pricing there?
Yeah.
Oh, it's not like Chennai.
Yeah, it's not like that. So there we can. So all of this we have to do much earlier. We have to tell the theatres this is what we're going to price for this, and then sometimes they'll not agree and they'll be like, listen, you can't, and then the whole conversation will go on. But yes, that's possible there.
At least when it comes to like choosing acting roles, is there a certain kind of career that you want to follow, or is there a kind of roles that you're going to choose more of?
Okay, so I've not planned anything because that kind of narrows down, what I'm going to receive. But I most definitely know that I will not do something that involves me just coming in and, just being there and exiting. I don't want to do that. I know that's something that I don't want to do, but there's nothing that, this is the kind of role or this is the kind. No, I'm open to anything. I'm really excited to see how, I can explore this side of.
Okay, that's great speaking to you, Kirti.
Same here, Vishal. If you like this video, please like, comment and share, and most importantly, subscribe to Film Companion South.